Welcome into your weekly card class from Maine. My name is Julie Maxon. I am the Maine Stamper, and I am here to inspire you with some really awesome creativity. I love to come live at 8 o'clock, and I'm actually on time tonight. 8 o'clock on Mondays here on the East Coast, and I have a card class every week featuring a new product by Stampin Up. Typically, it's a bundle, and the good news is that not only do you get to watch me make this card class of 4 different cards for free because you're watching it online or on YouTube, and thanks for saying hi when you jump on, but you can get these card kits at home so that you can stamp as well. Now you can always use the same bundle that I'm using, or you can change it up and change the theme. It's really easy to swap in your own products as well, so don't be shy. If you don't like the bundle that I'm using, just look at the card class itself. What are the colors of the kits? What designer paper am I offering? Which dies and punches and all of the good papers and ribbons am I sending you? Because then you can create your own cards at home, and they're going to be extra special because they're going to be extra unique as well. I see some friends on here. Hi Jess, Patty, and Rhonda. Thanks for saying hi. I love to make sure that you can see and hear me. I'm actually on time tonight, and which is kind of surprising. I'm usually late. In case you're new to me, I run late all the time. So I popped on here at 8 o'clock, and I think I'm ready. I feel like I didn't have a minute to spare to make sure that I'm ready, so hopefully I am. We're going to be using the Hang An Ornament Bundle by Stampin Up. Now this is a fun bundle. It may be something that you've overlooked in the catalog because it's not super glamorous, but it is fun, and also it's under $30. Where can you get a die and stamp bundle under $30? This is a really good deal, $29.50 for this bundle, and I'm going to go over it with you in depth here during the class tonight and show you how you can use it. It's really adorable. I am looking forward to incorporating it into my Christmas stamp camp, which is coming up in just a couple more weeks. If you haven't signed up for it and you're local to me, hi Michelle, Michelle's coming. Make sure you get signed up. There's still another week yet to be able to get signed up for that stamp. I'm calling it a stamping retreat, Christmas stamping retreat, Christmas retreat. I always play with the words and then I get confused on what words I've used, but it's going to be all Christmas. It's going to be fun, and you're going to see these ornaments whether you're at the camp or whether you check out all of the good things that I share afterwards. You're going to get to see these again. So I'm not just using them tonight, I'm using them going forward, which is really fabulous. All right, let's get over to my workspace. I feel like I have a few friends over here today. Please continue to say hi as you jump on. I love to know who's hanging out with me. As mentioned, Hang An Ornament. Now, this is a smaller stamp set, and it's a smaller set of dies, which is why it is only $29.50. It's on page 44 of the mini catalog in case you want to check this out. There are some great samples, and also, fun fact, you can make paper ornaments for your Christmas tree in your craft room. Now, let's say you have a Christmas tree in your craft room. Maybe you want to make some paper ornaments, you know, stamped paper ornaments made by you. Put those, make that little, you could decorate a wreath with them, you can make a little garland with them. These are a lot of fun. I'm going to actually show you how they did this little poll feature, which is really fabulous. I had a fun time playing with this. Hang An Ornament has only a couple of sentiments, just for you and all is merry. These are all capital letters in these 2 sentiments. So I would recommend, of course, if you're using these and you want to create some different kinds of Christmas cards, incorporate your sentiment only stamp sets as well. These ones just happen to fit into the die features over here. So they're kind of tiny and narrow, which is perfectly fine. And then there's this teeny tiny pole. It says pole, and there's a reason we need a pole in here. So we're going to have a little pole feature. There's a couple of leaves, one that kind of looks more like the pine needles, and one that is definitely a holly leaf. And then a little berry here. This is not a candy cane. This die right here is not a candy cane, but you could probably use it as such. This is actually the ornament hook, and you've got 2 different ornaments. Now, this is a photopolymer stamp set. I have used everything except for, I mounted everything up. I did not use this single holly berry stamp, which would coordinate with this die right here. I use the smaller berry stamps, which come in nicely. You can do 4 of them at one time. I love when you can die cut multiple things at one time. I wish there was more, like another ornament topper here. I would have liked that, maybe another ornament hook. That would have been fantastic. And you can kind of see here the dies that are in here. We've got the fabulous ornament itself. We can die cut either of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these images can be die cut out, and then the rest are sentiments. So I guess that pretty much is all of them. Let's just go with that's all of them. So this is a great little bundle. I would love to know if anyone has this at home. Hi, Kathy and Donna and Sandra. It's so good to see you. Sandra sent me the most lovely card. I have to share it with you guys soon. Sandra, I love the card that you emailed me. It was so beautiful. Hi, Lynn from New Jersey. Glad to see you here tonight. Okay, so we have the Hang An Ornament Bundle. Let's talk about the card class. With your $40 order, you're going to get 4 card kits from me. So these are your card kits. There's a lot of stuff always in my card kits. I try to make my card kits simple, and I just can't seem to help myself. This one is going to be kind of some real red garden green. We've got some of this cute little red and white baker's twine in here, some adorable designer series paper. We'll get into that one first. Then we're going to kind of go into more of a natural neutral color palette here for our next ornament card. Our third one is going to feature some of these really great old olive greens and this beautiful designer series paper that is it's got some gold in it as well. You've got some die cut pieces in here, as you can see, an embossed piece. Card number 3, and then card number 4 is going to be our final card. We will have some ribbon included in your kit, a tag. You've got some punch circles. You've got some real fancy paper in this one. So this is going to be kind of more the elegant card. So as we're going along, we're going to talk about ornaments because I'm all about ornaments. I just went to the Hallmark Ornament premiere on Friday night. I went in Friday night for the sneak peek because this weekend I went to Vermont. I've been very busy. I'm always a busy girl. So we had a quick trip out to Vermont to meet with some family. We had a fabulous time, in case anyone was wondering. I had such a great time. It's always good to hang out with family. And I am a little tired. So if I'm acting a little odd tonight, it's because I really am a little bit tired. We are doing the $40 order gets you 4 card kits. $50 order gets you the 4 card kits and the embellishment. Now this is the embellishment. This was an online exclusive called Cherry Cobbler and Pearl Adhesive Backed Berries. This was on back order for quite some time. You're actually getting, there's 2 colors here, right? The cherry or red, and then kind of a clear here. And you can see that some of them are in clusters of berries. And then you've got some single ones. This is a $9 embellishment. So it's really not, it's kind of like a no-brainer to go from $40 to $50 so you can get a $9 embellishment for free, because that's almost the difference between $40 and $50 here. My host code remains 99Q9KQEC. This offer is good through Friday, 10/18. So let's get going on this card class. I'm really excited to bring this one to you. And Rhonda says she has it, but she hasn't used it yet. So this is awesome, Rhonda. I cannot wait, because I love how excited my stamping friends get when they have this in their hands at home, and I show them how to use it or give them some ideas, and then they get going on it because they are so much fun. All right, our very first card kit is going to be something fantastic. And actually it kind of is going to mimic, I'm going to bring the catalog back in for just a hot second. It's going to mimic this card right here a little bit, because I felt like this was the easiest way to show you how to use the pull feature on the card. Okay, let me get everything out. If you get these kits at home, there's a lot of teeny tiny little papers in here. So just make sure you aren't missing any of them, because there's so much going on. We've added some foils and glimmers and all the good stuff, because again, we're making some Christmas cards. Christmas cards should be extra, extra pretty. Now this card kind of follows along with this idea, but of course I have to change it up a little bit and make it more unique, right? I need to add more layers, basically. I cannot just, this is just not enough layers for me. I'm sorry. If you don't like all my layers, then please just make 15 cards out of the 4 card kits. Probably you could. They have a base here. They stamped on their base. And then they made this little pull feature here, which is what I've got right here. Now I'm going to let you know that I made this card. It has a pull feature. I have not pulled it yet, so I'm hoping that I did it right. And by did it right means when we pull this ornament off, the what's underneath of it, I'm hoping is lined up correctly. I haven't tested it, so this is going to be this is going to give me some ideas on whether or not I've done it correctly. So we've got a real red card base here. We've got some glimmer paper, a little bit of silver foil as mentioned. We've got some garden greens. So we've got some really basic Christmassy colors here. Now this paper is super adorable, and if you use this side of it, please pay attention to these little ornaments. There is a little like bluish line, I'm gonna say blue because it's not black, that goes up into the pine boughs here. So don't put your ornaments on upside down. Put them on right so that they're hanging ornaments, right? Or if you prefer, maybe you like the red and white stripe. So I'm probably going to switch it up for this card because I usually switch up something. But before we do anything, we're going to do a little background stamping. I'm going to bring in just a scrap paper to stamp on, I think, because we don't need too much. And we're going to start with Garden Green. Now, Garden Green is the only color of ink that I'm using for this card. I'm using this, I'm going to start with this pine leaf, and then I'm going to kind of mix in the holly leaf. And we're going to do a little background stamping here on our white cardstock. So let me make sure. Hi, Lori. Thanks for welcoming me back to Maine. You know what? It is so, I mean, like the best feeling in the world to cross that bridge and come back into Maine. That is like my favorite part of coming back to Maine, crossing that bridge from New Hampshire into Maine. Oh, I love it. So it feels good to be home. It's always good to be in Maine. We're going to start with this leaf right here. This is kind of more of our pine leaf. And our card is going to go in the portrait position. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom. Now there's no right or wrong way here, so this may not look anything like my first one, but I'm basically just kind of layering up the bottom down here. You can stamp off, definitely. So you can kind of see where I've gone with that. I'm going to bring in the holly leaf now and do a little fill in here. And this is just the same color ink, so we're just making greens and greens and greens, right? And you can kind of just add them in however works best. I should probably bring in my designer series paper real quick and do a dry fit. So I want my designer series paper probably to be right about here. So I need to fill in a little bit more. We need some more fill in here. So we're going to just kind of come up a little bit more. That might do it there. Now we're going to come over. So as mentioned, no right or wrong way. You're just going to kind of fill in the corners over here with some background stamping. It's okay to stamp over top. We're doing all these colors really kind of tone on tone. My designer series paper on the bottom is going to come here. I can see that I smudged. I must have some ink on my thumb. Oh my goodness, inky fingers already. We're barely into card one, and I'm grabbing for a baby wipe because that's how this is going to go. Okay, I'm going to bring in some more greens down here at the bottom and hide my smudgy. Right about here, I'm going to bring in another green. Just like that. So beautiful. Now we're going to come back up here. I should have kind of made a note of the fact that I need to come up this way now, and we're going to do a little bit of green here. So on my card here, you can see some down here in the corner. You can see some up here at the top. So with this in mind, I know that I'm going to come right about here and just kind of fill in a little bit coming up this way. We'll do some out that way. Maybe I'll come this way with one. Again, no right or wrong. This is where you have fun with your stamping adventures, right? So just fill in some greens here. Make it nice and full, as much as you want, right? As long as you can kind of get the idea. Oh, I like how that looks. That's very pretty. With the peppermint stripes, right? Look at how cute that is already. I love it. And that's not hard. I mean, really, you could put this on a card base, add a sentiment, and you have a beautiful Christmas card. And this was not difficult stamping. So just making mention that in case anyone out there is watching and thinking, oh my goodness, I could never do that. Sure you can. It's not hard. It's just takes a little practice. You saw that I got some ink in the wrong spot. So it's just a matter of covering up your little errors and little boo-boos that happen while you're stamping, and you keep going. I'm going to actually press this from the back because there's a lot of white cardstock on the front, and I'm not sure if my fingers are quite uninked. So as mentioned, instead of hanging my ornaments, I'm going to hang up the peppermint. So I'm going to glue up here on the back side and flip this over and use the red and white stripy side instead. So you have this option at home as well. You can choose whichever side you like. This one probably looks a little bit more Christmassy at this point. Okay, now we're going to get into some tricky stuff. This is going to be so exciting. Now you're going to have 2 white squares in your card kits. You're also going to have a green square. So you're going to see that the white squares will nest nicely on the green as intended over here. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep these 2 white squares together, and we're actually going to die cut our ornament. We're going to die cut it so that we are die cutting the 2 at the same time, and they need to be kind of square and flush. Let me bring in my die cutter machine here. I'm going to pop these onto the base. Again, I've got both of them here, so they're both right here. I'm going to put them back together, keep them square and flush, set them down, and I need to find my ornament die. So the ornament die is going to come on here. I'm going to actually face it my way so I can look at it and make sure I've centered it exactly where I want it to be. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit toward the bottom and then center it side to side. What I need to do is I need to save room for the hook at the top. but I don't want it to be like way at the bottom. Okay, so we've got them on there. They look beautiful. We're going to put our top plate on. Of course, it moved a little bit, but I think we're good. We're going to crank them through. We're going to come back one because we have 2 pieces of cardstock, and I want to make sure that I die cut both of them at the same time. So we're going to slide those off of there. And the reason we have 2 of these is we need a template. And I probably need to have cleaner plates. I've cleaned, my plates are a little messy right now, so I'm just going to use my rubber eraser there and get rid of some stuff that I don't quite want on there. I'm going to pull off the ornament. I'm going to separate my 2 papers. And you're going to see here that the ornament is still inside, right? It didn't come out completely from my paper. But they are, the back one is rough looking. This one is definitely our template. So I'm going to show you that the ornament comes off. It's got like 3 little perforations on here, 1, 2, and 3. And it really doesn't show those little notches where it was connected to the frame too terribly much. So I don't think you need to like trim it with anything. I kind of run my fingers on it a little bit sometimes if I feel like it's bumpy, but it'll come out just like that. So it does stay in one whole form, and that's where we get our pull feature from. So as mentioned, it's right here. I haven't tried it yet. We're gonna work on it though. This is the green that's gonna go behind our pull. So this is my original. This one's gonna come right here, and I'm using this as mentioned. This is the back one that I die cut. This is my template. And I'm using my template because you're gonna die cut this. And I actually did a bunch of die cutting and things earlier, so I don't have to die cut everything. But you would die cut this with your ornament. This ornament right here, and then you would pop it out of the frame. So there you have it right there. And you're going to actually, by using this template, we're going to glue this beautiful red foil ornament right down here, kind of like you're making a puzzle, right? You're doing a puzzle right in the middle. So pop that on there, really nice, and we're going to pull this off. This is our template, so you're going to have to hold that down when you pull this up. So there you can see our template took care of the placement, and when we put this over top of it and then pull this off, this one should be underneath. That's where we're going with it. So we're going to see if this all works out for us. Now meanwhile, we're going to do some more stamping. We have garden green ink again, and I chose the ornament that has the little pine leaves in it. There are 2 ornaments. We're going to be using both of them quite a bit today, so you're going to see one is definitely different from the other, which is nice. You get 2 different ornament looks. This is the easiest way I have found to do the stamping and the lining up. So I tried to stamp this and then die cut with the ornament die. It's really tricky. I feel like it's easier photopolymer stamp to just stamp on top of your die cut, and you're going to focus on the little hanger that's in your stamp. There's kind of like an opening spot there where the hanger is at the top, that little ornament topper. Focus on this little dot. There's like a little dot here because you can hang them if you put string through them. You're going to focus on putting that dot right in the middle here from your ornament topper, and it's much easier to go that way. You're going to have much more ease of getting this stamped properly than not. Now we're not taking this off of here because we're going to put it on our card just like this. But you have a whole bunch of other things in your card kit, and I want to talk to you about what they are and what you're going to do with them. So on this green piece right here from our dies, you're going to die cut 2 of these squiggles. So you're going to have enough length here to get 2 of these die cuts. Okay, and then you've got this white paper right here, and from this white paper you need a little arrow. That's going to be our pull arrow, and we need a little topper for our front ornament because I felt like it needed one. Okay, so you're going to do those, and I have my arrow, and I have, oh, there's the silver. So you're going to do one out of the foil, and here's one out of the white paper. So these are all of the papers that you have. This is all the die cutting you're going to do to make this card. So let me move my dies back over so I don't lose them, because they are tiny. As you can see how tiny they are. These are the papers. Move those over. A lot of papers and things with this one. Move these over because I already did all the die cutting. I tried to be ahead of the game here. All right, so on each of these little dies, we are going to now stamp the words "All is merry." Let me see this one right here. "All is merry." We have it right here. I'm going to ink this up in Garden Green. So we're doing green on green here. And we're just going to go ahead and do it on one. And then we're going to pop this onto the second one. All is merry. There we go. So we've got two of them that say all is merry. We also need one that says pull. I've got to find my little pull. It's super tiny. It actually fits on this arrow. Now keep in mind your arrow orientation, front and back and all that good stuff. I want my arrow going facing to the right. I'm going to put pull on here. I know it's super tiny, but we can do it, right? There's the pull. Okay, so we've got that inked up. I think that's everything. I'm trying to look, think. I think that's everything we need with green ink right now. So I'm going to set this one aside and we're going to finish some assembly. So on the inside of our card, or on the inside of this pull piece, this pull feature, we're going to go ahead and put one of our all is merry's down right across here, right across the ornament. This fits perfectly side to side when you line it up just like that. I'm going to go ahead and line up this one as well. Just a little bit of adhesive, and I have to keep telling myself, don't pull the ornament out yet. We're not pulling that out yet. Now on the front one, I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of adhesive here, and I'm going to add this white little topper. I just felt like it needed something on the top. You probably could color it in with your marker as well. That might look really nice. And then for the inside ornament, again, we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive there, and we're going to put this silver foil down. Now if you prefer gold, you could definitely use gold. Silver or gold, your choice. We're using gold for a lot of the other cards tonight. So this is super cute, right? This is the all is merry. And for the inside, we're going to glue this flat down onto our card base. Look how cute already, right? Love these classic Christmas colors. So adhesive on that, and this is going flat. This will cover up a little bit of our stamping, but not all of it. Just make sure that's adhered down. Oh, my all is merry is not quite. Things take a little bit longer to dry. If you're using glue, it takes a little bit longer to dry on the glimmer paper, but I feel like it has a really great hold once it's there. Now for this all is merry, we're going to actually put this on with some dimensionals. We need a little bit of height difference between the two layers. So we're going to put only in the corners here because this ornament is meant and intended to come off. This ornament right here will pop off. It will be kind of a keepsake piece after they pull it off of their card. And of course you could put a different sentiment or a different message on the inside if you wanted to. This is going to cover this up, so we have to center this on our garden green square because that is how it's intended to be. This teeny tiny pole right here, oh my goodness, I used a very small edge of dimensionals, and the reason I popped it up is because I thought maybe it might look nicer if this came off the card once the person pulled the ornament. I thought I didn't really want pull to still be on the card. So if I can get the back off of this, we will be going to town. Here we go. I think I have that on there. So just a little smidge of a dimensional. As mentioned, this is super tiny, and I am finding that my glasses are definitely not doing it for me anymore. I definitely need to get a new prescription. The bifocals are not working, so I'm looking up and over the edge of my glasses once again. But this is where I would put the pull right here to indicate that there is a pull feature to this little ornament, right? Super cute. And I did or did not make I thought I made a little, here it is. I made a little bow, so you're getting some red and white baker's twine. I made the bow, so I didn't have to struggle with that tonight. And we're going to, I think I have a random glue dot on here. We're going to put it on with a glue dot. So we're going to kind of roll this up. It's going to come right underneath the little white ornament topper that we put on there. So I'm just going to add that on with a glue dot. So now you can see, oh, we forgot the embellishments. You can see we forgot the embellishments. That's not where I was going, actually. What I was going to say is now you can see the difference between the stripey paper and the pine tree paper with the ornaments. has a little bit more color. The one has more color, more blues. We're getting some more blues, different ornament colors in there, which is super sweet. I just grabbed one of these little trio of berries. I thought that would look really cute down here in the corner. Nice to have it one and done. Okay, so this is the card. This is the excitement now. So we're going to try it with this one. This one says pull. So we're going to try this and see. So if we pulled this off right now, so let's say your recipient realized that they needed to detach this ornament. The ornament comes off and they get to keep it. And here is what's left underneath. So I didn't do too bad centering that. So there it is. And then this is what their card looks like after they pull off the ornament. And isn't that a cute little feature to be able to pull the ornament? And I felt like maybe the pull part maybe could come off nicely from the dimensional here. Maybe not. Maybe not. I was hoping it would. Maybe some removable adhesive might be going on there, just so that it's a really cute card without the word pull on it. But this is what it would look like when you pull it apart. Now, if you wanted to, there's another way you could do this. You could do this instead of putting an ornament like this on here. You could instead use your template and then stamp. This is not my inked stamp. I've already lost it on my desk. Where did it go? Right here. So you could stamp this into the circle like this, and then you could pull, instead of pulling off and seeing an ornament underneath, you could see a repeat of the stamping, and then you could fill in the stamping as well. So there's two different options. You can either choose to do a whole ornament like I did. The glimmer is a lot of fun, or you can stamp underneath, and this is how they did it in the catalog. So that is card number 1. I hope you guys are enjoying this one. I'm just going to check messages real quick. Make sure you're still hanging out with me. Hi, Amy. Hi, Linda. And Jess likes the striped paper. I think I do too, actually. I think it's much more Christmassy, but I really wanted to play kind of off the pines here too. So there, you know, a couple different options. I love that this is just kind of a little keepsake piece. Now, before this went on, you could also put a little message on the back of this. So before you put this piece on with your dimensionals, maybe you wanted to put something on the back, and maybe even loop the string through there so they could use it as an ornament that they could hang up. But card number, how cute is that, right? And that goes just back like so. So card number 1 is all done. Hope you guys are loving this one. I've got to just move some things aside. We're going to clean up a little bit really quickly before we get into card number 2. Ah, yes, the glimmer ornament and the stripy paper. Those are fun, right? That's not the one that I use. I'm cleaning a clean stamp. That's how my day's going right now. Okay, cleaning the clean stamp. I guess there's no harm in that, right? We're just gonna come through here real quick, run down the messy stuff that I've used, because a lot of these stamps are gonna be reused again and again. There's not a lot of stamps in the set, so we are making good use of them. This is the Hang An Ornament Bundle, in case you're just tuning in. We're gonna move on to the second card. Card number 2. Got to unbury things in my crafty space. Let me move some things aside because otherwise can't find anything. All right, card number 2. This one's going to be more of a natural toned card. Kind of if you like the nature type colors for your Christmas cards instead of the bright reds and greens. Now we do have a little mossy, we have a little bit of cherry. Again, some really tiny papers and things in here, because we decorate these little ornaments with all kinds of things. So you're getting some designer series paper, and you're getting an embossed piece. This has the timber embossed embossing folder, and it is white. There's a lot of white on white right here. So we are going to find the card so you can see what this one looks like. I can't wait for you to see what this one looks like. This one, we're going to do some heat embossing. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going more natural tones, but we do have a little splash of the traditional kind of mossy and cherry right here. But you can see we are using white and gold embossing powder for this card. So let's talk about the bones. Let's get those together real quick, and then we're going to get right into all of the good stuff. Now, this designer series paper is from the 6x6 online exclusive called Iconic Designer Series Paper. So this is that pack, and I just realized that I wanted to do some sponging on that before we put that on. So let's do that real quickly. This is why we have the beautiful little silicone mat here. So because I've already put some glue on it. So hopefully you can see the difference between the two. I meant to grab my crumb cake. Let's bring in our ink pads for this one. We've got crumb and pecan, and I'm looking to see, and then we're going to be using our heat embossing as well. So let's bring in crumb cake, and let's do a little bit of edging here on our designer series paper. This is kind of like when I'm just going to flip my mat here because the glue is like on here and I don't want to pick this up right now. This is kind of antiquing. I feel like crumb cake is a good antiquing to, you know, kind of make something look a little bit older than it is. And we're going to bring back in our mat here. I'm going to re-add a little bit of this glue, fresh glue, that's going to be a little bit more slippery in case I need to wiggle it around here on this white mat that I've put here on the back of my designer series paper. And there we go. Now we're going in the right direction. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this down onto our card base. Make sure we know which way it opens. And I'm putting this one over farther to the right, just like that. Now for this piece that is embossed in the timber embossing folder, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring in a scrap this time because I'm going to go off a little bit. I'm just going to kind of softly do the edges a little bit. And just by adding a little bit of brown here around all four edges, it really changes up the look, the entire look. It does not look, even though I didn't do any ink in the middle, it does not look nearly as white as it once did. So this is the white, and this is with it, and I just went around the outside edges. So it really changes the way your eye sees the paper because there is no ink in the middle of this. I love playing with color, and I love these little surprises as you go along. So here we go. We've kind of antiqued, if you will, this piece right here. This is going to come on here with some dimensionals. So you can see you've got really great bones of your cards. I love to give you enough to work with that if you're not doing anything similar to what I'm doing, you can still make really amazing cards. Let me move my silicone mat over, and we're going to talk about our ornaments next. So you're getting a piece of pecan, you're getting a piece of crumb cake. So you can see them right here. These are what we're going to do some heat embossing on. And we're going to use two different colors. Now I have my two different stamps here for the ornaments. So hopefully you can see, I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Hopefully my camera will focus. The two different patterns are on here. So I used the pine cone, the pine bough pattern with the gold, and I've used the more leafy, florally like type one here in the white. So we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing next. So I'm going to bring in, oh, I didn't die cut those. I didn't die cut these pieces. Actually, we're going to die cut those real quick. So as mentioned earlier, I did try my best to die cut everything I had, and I must have skipped this step. So we're going to come back to this step because if I die cut it, I can't find it. Let me grab my ornament out. This will just take a second to die cut each. So you've got plenty of room here, you can see, to die cut the ornament. So there's one, and I'm going to leave it right in this little square that it kind of still connects to, and we're going to go ahead and do the pecan pie one too. Okay, here we go, pecan pie. Now we have one of each, so now we can do some heat embossing on them. And I think I have everything else die cut for this one. Okay, so here we go. So the nice part about keeping them in their little squares is that I have something to hold on to as I'm heat embossing. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to go ahead and use my buddy on both of these at the same time. We're going to kind of do some double duty here. And I have my gold powder over here as I bring this in. And I have my white powder over here. I have an older Stampin' Up powder pail tray, which is handy if you're doing two different things, I found. All right, so this is the one that I want to do in white, and I want this one to go onto the crumb cake. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to line this up best I can here. We're going to go ahead and powder this, get the white on there. So there's one. We're going to heat emboss that in a second. Let me move this over just like so, and I will clean that up later. And next we're going to do the next ornament. not this one, I just use this one. This one. This one has those pine boughs. We're going to do this one on the pecan pie paper. And we're going to bring in our gold here. And there we go. We've got both of those on there just like that. Cover up my powder. That way if I make a mess, I don't make an entire jar of mess. I just make a powder pail tray of mess. All right, let me grab my heat tool. We're going to get this heated up. I'm going to check your messages real quick. And Amy also likes this striped paper. Oh, Amy says it pops with color. I think it does too, Amy. Thanks for saying that. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab this, and we're going to heat emboss both. We'll do the gold one first. It just happens to be the one I picked up first. Looks good. We'll grab the next one here. Also looking good. Okay, so you can see here how handy it was to have that to hold on to, or to hold on to that with my little reversible tweezers. So now I can pop them out because we don't need them to be in that little square. So it's just really nice. There's just, as mentioned, 3 little spots there. So now we have our 2 ornaments. We bring in the card again so you can see all of the fun stuff we've got going on here. We have lots of pieces left in your card kit, and I'm just going to share with you what we're going to do with them as soon as I find which one it goes with. So here's all my parts and pieces. All right, so you're going to get 2 of these little holly leaves out of your mossy meadow. You're going to get this white ornament out of filler. I guess it's kind of like the center filler. You've got a pecan pie. You're going to get a whole bunch of gold things out of here. We've got some toppers. That one's flipped upside down. This is gold. This is gold. Let me see if I can get it to flip over. So you can see here you're going to be getting all kinds of stuff out of this paper. And then you've got these 4 little berries, which you can get right out of the cherry paper. So this is all of the die cutting that's going to go on to our ornaments from here. And what we're going to do first is we're going to play with some ink. So I've got the pecan pie, and I should have a pecan pie dauber. And we're going to just darken down the edges of the ornaments because that's one of my favorite things to do, is just add that extra dark layer along the outside edges. Of course, if you don't want to do these steps, you can skip them, but I feel like it really makes things much richer looking when you grab just adding a little bit of ink right there. So you can kind of, hopefully you can see that well. We're going to do the same thing with this piece that would have been die cut from pecan pie. Hopefully you can see the difference here when we add a little bit of the ink along the edges. It just really, I feel like it adds so much. And this is why my fingers are always a little bit inky. Inky fingers, not a bad thing. Just, you don't want to transfer it from one project to the next. So there we go. So there's that one. That's going to go right on there. Now with the pecan pie, you may be interested to know, I actually use this along the edges of the mossy meadow holly leaves just to give them a little bit of a tone, a little bit of a definition here. And let me flip this one over so you can see not inked and inked. So your eye is drawn. There's a little bit more, there's more definition here, I feel like, when we add a little bit. So just a little bit of ink. I'm just using leftover ink on my dauber. I didn't re-ink it. And even though it's brown, it still works in nature, right? We've got greens and browns. So that works really nicely to do that. Now we're not going to forget our little crumb cake ornament. We still have our ink out here, crumb cake. And do I have my crumb dauber out? Oh, you know what I think I meant to do is I meant to do this when I was doing all my other good stuff. So we're gonna add this one on here this way. I didn't grab my dauber. I had the blending brush out because I did the designer series paper and I did the embossed paper. So I think I figured, well, while I'm here with my blending brush, I'll just add a little bit around the edges here of my one ornament as well. All right, we are missing the Just For You. So we're going to stamp on this little kind of scalloped, beaded looking die cut. And we're going to do this one in pecan pie, so it's nice and dark. So Just For You is the other sentiment. Now this could very easily also say All Is Merry. So these are your two choices, right? Just For You and All Is Merry. I made it Just For You just to see that it would, you know, work here just as well. There's a few justs in there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So Just For You, that one's going to come on this one. And then we're just going to go ahead and start gluing this together and finishing this one up. That is all of the work that we need to do to get these put together. So really trying to show you that they don't all your ornaments don't need to be red and green. I know we all like different colors, but you can definitely, you know, choose different things. I feel like this would be a really nice masculine card if you're looking for a masculine Christmas card for someone. These are you know, nice. It's still Christmassy, but it's also kind of more of a nature looking type card. So we're going to do something really tricky with these little candy cane ornament hooks because they're so super tiny. We're going to flip our ornaments backwards. We're going to put the candy canes ornament hooks upside, you know, kind of this way, also backwards, right? So the gold is facing the front, and I happen to have a little bit of extra tear and tape here. And this is the back side, and we're just going to tape these down just so that we connect the hook to the ornament. No one's going to see this back here, but we didn't have to add glue to anything. So there's our cute little ornaments, just like that. You can see one hook is a little bit taller than the other, but I'm perfectly okay with that. Not a problem. We're going to go ahead and add the little gold die cut toppers here. There's lots of little teeny tiny parts to this one. So if you're into, you know, if you really like to put little papers on top of little papers and all that good stuff, take your pick tool, super handy for that, because it's going to pick up your little papers and keep your hands maybe a little bit cleaner. Depends. There are little slits in this topper. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's like little lines in here, and the glue will ooze out of these. So you have to be a little bit gentle with your glue. Don't go crazy. We're going to bring this in and we're going to start layering this together, and then we'll add in our little holly leaves. So you can see kind of how this is coming together. Hopefully you can see. Oh my goodness, I haven't been paying attention to. Hi Kelly, how's it going? I just came back over to my computer here for a second to see what you're seeing. Hopefully you're seeing everything. Okay, so let's glue these guys down. If you wanted to add dimensionals, you could. I'm going to put dimensionals behind this square, actually. And we're just going to put this one kind of at a little bit of an angle that way. This one's going to come in the front this way. Kind of rearrange our little ornaments just like so. Now, if you wanted to create more of these little hollies, you could put 2 on each ornament if you wanted to, but I just did enough for 1. Because sometimes when you get going with all these little tiny papers and whatnots, by the time you're done, you're like, yeah, I added a lot to this card. So we're just going to add them off to this side. So we've got our little holly leaves on there. I'm going to put a couple of little glue dots on there. Now this is where I definitely want to pick up these little berries here with the take your pick tool. And of course they're all upside down, so I got to flip them over real quick and put that on there. Flip them right side up. If you don't have one of these, you definitely need one. This is like probably one of the best tools ever, because it helps you to position. It's like having an extra finger that's not going to get sticky. Like this might get sticky, but you won't feel that it's sticky because it's not your finger. And that's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this one. Pop this on the card. If I can find some dimensionals. I've used up quite a few today, I think. We'll do the corners. We'll do one in the middle. And we'll call it good for right now. So here it's coming right along here. You can see just how I'm going to put this right over here, kind of toward the left side a little bit. And right about there in the middle. And now we're going to add in our bling. So yeah, I did talk to you about where all these little pieces go in your card kit, just so you're aware. Let's bring in the bling. For this one, I kept the the clear color on there because I thought this was a pretty neutral card. And I think I will do that same thing again. So let's see, we'll put one down here just kind of like we did before. So I got 2 on the bottom and I put 1 up here toward the top. And I really like that little trio of embellishments that are not basically completely glued together. But there we go, card number 2. I would love to know if you love this one or if this one is definitely not a Christmas card in your mind because it's just not red and green enough. So, but I wanted to try some different colors and I thought this one went together quite nicely. What would look beautiful on this one if you had it is maybe some pine cones. I feel like this one is like just asking for a pine cone in here somewhere as well. So that's card number 2. And we're going to move along here next to card number 3. Oh, thanks, Kelly. I'm glad you like this one. Okay, card number 3. I gotta find my card kits. Let me move some things back out of the way. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. And you're gonna see that there's a lot of green going on in here. And this is not your traditional green. This is Old Olive, which is one of Stampin' Up's classic colors. Classic color combinations. You're getting all kinds of stuff. We've got an Old Olive base. This is actually going to be a landscape card. You're getting the fern embossed paper right here. So you've got this piece. You've got a designer series paper, which you could use either side for. This doesn't even have to be a Christmas card. You have a couple of my favorite dies in the entire world. These are the stylish shapes. And then you've got glimmer in white for your ornaments, and then you've got some extra pieces here too. So I bet you'd like to see what the card actually looks like. Oh, Kelly likes non-traditional. That's awesome. I feel like non-traditional are becoming a little bit more popular, which is so awesome, right? All right, so this is, oops, a piece of string on there. This is our card. This is our next card. Again, with the glimmer and the gold, all the shiny bits to it. You can kind of see that as it's moving. Christmas, right? It's definitely Christmassy because it's got all those elements that we need in a Christmas card. So let's talk about all these little papers over here. These are going to be your ornament die. So you're going to go ahead and die cut this one and this one out of these papers right here. I think I have them over here. I think I did them right this time. Here's my white one that's still in its square. Here's my Old Olive glimmer paper. So that takes care of those 2. Then down here, we're going to die cut. I have to look at my card here. On the gold foil, you're going to die cut one of these squigglies. You're going to die cut 2 of the hooks. Now I did not include the hooks. I just did the toppers on this one. I mean, you could put them in here if you felt like you needed it. I didn't think that we needed ornament hooks on everything, so I didn't do ornament hooks for this one. So you're going to do 2 of these ornament toppers with this on here. And here's my pieces. Just make sure I've got them all because otherwise we're going to be doing some more work, kids. Okay, so 1 and 2 right there. In your white paper, this is a very narrow strip, but this is also very narrow. So you're going to die cut this. You're going to die cut your berries. So I kept the berries white for this card. I didn't make them red. So there's white there. Then from this piece right here, you're getting 2 of your Old Olive hollies. I like that this die is connected as 2 holly leaves, but it die cuts them out separately. Really fantastic. Oh, here's all my little circles right here. And then this one down here, we're going to be die cutting. We're going to stamp and die cut this little leaf that's right here. So I think that is everything. I think I did it. Okay, good, good. So now we can continue to work on this card as we've gotten some of the hard stuff out of the way previously. But I like to share with you, if you're getting these kits in the mail and you want to take this class and you want to make the cards exactly like I'm doing, you want to know, like, what am I doing with all these papers? Because there's a lot of random little paper bits in these. I do email out the directions. If you are one of my Stampin' Up team members, you're on my downline, you get these as well. So not just customers, I do give them to my team. But if you shop with me this week, you'll get these directions too. Just like your Thursday email card recipe to get for free. It's very similar to that. I use the same kind of outline for all of my card recipes. All right, moving on here. We're using Old Olive ink. This is the only ink we're using for this entire card. So we're inking up this one that looks a little bit more leafy here. It kind of blends in with these leaves here that are on the designer series paper. I felt like went really well together. So as mentioned earlier, in case you're just tuning in, the best way to stamp this and get it centered is to die cut first and then stamp in this little circle. It's just so much easier. And then after that, unless you're doing the pull feature and a surprise underneath, we're just popping this out and now we have our ornaments for our card. Super awesome, right? While we have our old olive, let's add some ink to the edges. You knew I was going to, right? I hope you knew that about me. I just can't leave the edges naked. They have to have some color. I got to cover them up with something pretty. So there we go. Just a little bit behind there. It looks so pretty. All right, and we are going to go ahead and do our little leaf here, kind of. Well, I think I threw that paper somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. It's going to look like this when we're done. Did I throw it in here? I might have thrown it in my bin. Okay, so you're going to stamp this and you're going to die cut it. Now this just has an outline die, so you just run this through your die cutting machine, and there's a little tiny hole down here in the stem. If you put this over top of your stamped image and you try to line up this little hole, and you can see ink, the green ink underneath, because sometimes you can see white, sometimes you can see green, then you know you have it outlined pretty well, right? So if that little hole goes down along the stem, you should have a pretty good image. And if not, you add some ink to the edges and you are good to go. Now we're also gonna use this little stamp. Let me move some things aside. I got way too much going on. We're gonna bring in our scrap paper again, and we're gonna stamp this paper right here. I hope you can see along the edges all kinds of some stamping going on. Again, everything we're doing here on this card is one ink only. So you can go ahead and tipsy-topsy. These can go in any direction, really. So just make a nice little array of pine needles coming from this direction. And then I like to rotate my cardstock and start over. And now we're going to do this side. So this is basically the top and the bottom. You can have some going out, some going in, just like that. And don't worry about how high up or down they are. The designer series paper is going to cover up most of it. And I was like a little ungenerous with some of these. I left some spacing in between. I have a few gaps. There we go. We're just gonna maybe sneak a couple more little bottom ones in there. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like next. We're not done yet. We're going to bring in the old olive blending brush. We're still playing with ink, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to darken down the edge here. This just helps us to have a darker color than our card base, so it looks like we have more ink tones going on or color tones going on, but we really don't. We're using the same ones. So if you have only a few pieces of colors of cardstock, is what I meant to say. Use your ink, change up one of your colors, and then it will look like you have more, if that makes sense. Can make that kind of go a little bit longer for you. All right, so let's go ahead and put these parts and pieces together a little bit. Oh, I meant to do this one too. While we're playing with ink, I probably still have enough on my brush here. Maybe I don't. We can get a little bit of green around the edges of this just to darken it down a little bit. It's going to help when we pop our ornaments on here if this looks a little bit darker. Okay, I think we're good with that. So we're going to start gluing things together. Our card is going to open this way. Just make sure you know which way. And then on this embossed piece with the ferns, you can go embossed or debossed. So you get to decide which side you like up better. And we're going to go ahead and put this on the card front, just like that. And then we're going to grab this and put our designer series paper on. Now again, you could do all kinds of green here, but I do like the fancy paper. I want to see this white. I want to see the design of these different leaves, the gold on here. It's all so pretty, right? So you can see that we've covered up some of our stamping. So whether we stamped high or low, it doesn't show here. So it's very forgiving. Now this also can go this way or this way. You get to decide. Basically, you're deciding what you want to see once we put these together and put them on. It's going to cover up some of our designer series paper. For this card, I got lucky and I'm like, oh, I want this big branch to show right here. That's really pretty. So you flip these around. These can go in either way, right? There's no right or wrong here. I think I'm going to go this way this time. I like this one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this on next. Just add your adhesive here. This will go on right over top. And we'll put that right about there. I've probably got a good 1/2 inch or so on the bottom. This is closer to 1/4 inch. It's up just a little bit more on this one. There, again, no right or wrong. We're going to go ahead and glue these 2 circles together, looking for the pretty stitching to be facing up. It gets a little squished at the bottom, at the back end. It's a little bit more snarly, so we don't want that side to show. So here you go. You can see kind of where we're going with this. Let's put some of these elements together now. We've got this really great set of ornaments over here that we worked on, and we've got this really teeny tiny. I mean, this is pretty tiny, right? We're going to stamp on this, similar to how we stamped on the word pull, right? We're going to be doing a little bit of masking though. So I hope you can see that this says Mary. My sentiment says all is merry. So we're going to bring in some painter's tape and we're going to go ahead and cover up the all is. So just go ahead and cover up. I got to just lift this up a little bit so my eyeballs can see it. Okay, painter's tape. You could use washi tape, of course, if you prefer. You can use a Post-it, but we're covering up everything except for Mary. So right now all we have is Mary showing. We're going to stamp Mary on this teeny tiny paper, and it's going to go to the left. So as you can see here, we're keeping it farther this way. Now, when you have the painter's tape on, I don't put the whole thing into my ink pad because I feel like that's just silly. I try to just keep mostly what I need. Now it's going to go over a little bit into the painter's tape, but I don't necessarily need to ink up everything. Now the painter's tape, important tip, comes off, and all we have is ink right here on Mary. And now we're going to line up Mary, do our best here, and there it is. We did it just like that, and it looks really good too, right? So we got Mary on there. That's awesome. You know what, while we have this out, we do need to bring in, do I have an old olive dauber? I do. Okay, we're going to old olive up the outside edges of our holly leaves here. Add a little bit of that on there as well. There we go. Much better. Add a little bit of distinction to those. I just like how much they pop when you add that little bit of ink. I'm looking at my card to see if there's anything else I need to ink up, but I think my ink is done. I'm gonna write a book. I think my ink is done. All right, so over here we've got this great little gold decorative part for our ornaments. I'm gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on there and put this right across here. So pretty, right? Give our ornament like a little flavor. We're gonna put the little toppers on here. Just a little bit of glue on both of these. They definitely need those toppers. I feel like they need them. So we're going to put that on there and let that set for a minute because it's probably going to come off my fingers. Yep, it sure did. I'm going to try to tell it that it really wants to stay on the ornament. It really wants to stay on the ornament. Let's try this again. Okay, this time it's staying on there. Stay. Okay, good. And we're going to pick up this one and we're going to do the same thing over here. Now it sticks much nicer to the regular cardstock than it does the glimmer paper, but it really adds a lot to add that gold on there too. All right, Mary's got to come up next. I'm going to bring in the Mary here, and this fits right inside this little gold die cut that we already have on here. So it's going to come right across here just like so. And as we put the glue on the gold foil, there is going to be a lot more squiggly going on. So just keep that in mind as you're working that. All right, so now we can go ahead and put these on with dimensionals. Our Our circles are going on with dimensionals. I feel like I want to grab a new pack of dimensionals. Try not to wiggle my camera while I grab them out. Okay, much better. Ooh, look at that. A new pack of dimensionals. I'm going to go ahead and add probably 5 right around our circle. Stylish shapes are my favorite dies because you can do so much with these dies. I love the nesting dies, and I also love that there's stitching. It's just so cute, right? So this is going to come on here right about here, just like so. Gives a nice little landing spot for our ornaments to hang out. We're going to put one this way, we're going to put one this way. I'm just doing a really quick dry fit to see maybe where I want this little leaf to go. I've got this leaf on this sparkly ornament just because it needed a little something. It needed a little something. I'm going to pop this over here. I'm going to bring this out a little bit too, so that it is outside of the green circle, but still in the white circle. Okay, so a little bit of adhesive for my ornaments, and kind of the same thing here, just a little bit of an angle if you want. I think I put this one on more straight, but definitely they can go in whichever direction you want. Now this is something that you can do too with your little holly leaves, is they don't have to go at the top of the ornament. They can come down here and be part of this, the middle of the ornament as well. So I'm just going to layer 2 of them kind of crisscrossed this way, so you can see that they come down here. And that's why we stamped the Mary way over to the left, because we wanted to have room here to put the holly berries, the holly and berries, I guess I should say, the holly and the berries, because they're all coming up next. Got all these little white die cut berries that are going to come on here and go into my little piles of glue. I'm going to be so happy and pretty. There we go. I'm just kind of putting them on however they fit. Looks like I did 3 on my first one, and here I've got 4 of them here, and I'm going crazy with the holly berries. I think I'm going to add this next one on because I didn't quite. I think I was going for a 4 pack here. So this card is going to have extra berries. Let me put that back on there and pick this up one more time. My fingers are a little sticky with all the glue, so things kind of come back off. But this spatula part is kind of nice to help hold them down in a way so that it doesn't quite come off. There we go. All right, happy little berries, right? And for this card, I also kept 2 the clear embellishments, and I'm going to do like 3 of them here. I like that there's 3 right up here at the top, kind of this way. 1, 2, 3, and we will do 1 single one down here this way, just like that. And there we go, card number 3. Oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock out here. This has taken a little bit longer than I anticipated, but look how pretty these are, right? So there is our Mary card with old olive and gold, super beautiful. Card number 3 is in the books. We're going to clean up here just for a second. I'll let you look at those for just a second while I check your messages and also clean up my stamps, because we got to finish up one more card. Okay, we're going to just clean off the green. We got to clean the green here. We got a lot of green going on. Do I need this one? I do. I need this one cleaned up. And this one can stay green if it is. All is Mary. Oh, just for you. I need All is Mary cleaned up. And I think that might be it. I feel like this has a lot of green on it, on the outside of my block. Okay, we're going to move into the last card. So you can see one more card tonight, and then you can decide how much you love this card class. Hopefully you are loving this card class. Okay, so the last card, I gotta think of where I want to put these so I don't lose them completely. Last card kit has some very rich, beautiful colors. Also has some ribbon. So this one includes a little bit of the cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. We're going to use a vanilla card base. So we have a little bit of vanilla in here. You're getting one of these labels. You're getting some punched pieces. You're getting all kinds of little bits here. Some designer series paper. And the bones of our card are going to be very vanilla with cherry cobbler. So let's put these together real quick and get this card started. Now if you aren't a fan of the gold, first I'll glue this down while I talk about the gold paper. So this designer series paper will work with either side. So if you aren't a fan of the gold, you can definitely just use the red side. So this would be the red side, just like so. Or you can use the side with the gold. Now because it's a Christmassy card and it should be fancy, I'm of course going to use the side with the gold on it. Why would I not, right? So here we go. We're just going to layer these together, starting off our card kit. And then I have this piece of paper. Now this is a one-sided piece of paper, so there's really no option here. You want to definitely use this side, but again, you're bringing in the reds and the golds. I'm just kind of bridging the gap between the bigger sections of gold and all these little sparkly pieces that are so pretty. You probably would love to know what this card looks like, don't you? And what all these other extra pieces are. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can find it here. And we're gonna come back over and show you our card here. So this has lots of pretty on it as well. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping here on our tag. So let's do that real quick. We're going to stamp some holly and we're going to stamp these pine leaves. And our color palette here may surprise you just a little bit. We have wild wheat and cherry cobbler. So kind of this red and gold combo. I forgot old olive. We need old olive too. So old olive. I'm going to start with that. We're going to start with our little tag here. These are really fantastic tags. This is from the, oh, let's see, which one is this one? Greetings of the Season Dies, in case you were looking for that. Greetings of the Season Dies. We're going to start with our holly leaves down here at the bottom, and we're just going to stamp in the corner here in the old olive. Just like that, really cute, really easy. Next, we're going to bring in wild wheat, have a crack at the gold color that everyone loves, everyone's favorite color right here, right? And we're going to come up here at the top, and we're going to just add in a couple of these kind of pine leaves going this way. So just like this. This is how we're stamping on our tag. The rest of it is going to be covered up with our ornaments and all that good stuff. Now, we have for you in your card kit lots of pieces. Let's talk about your pieces. Of course, you have your ribbon, which you're going to make a little bow with. The cherry cobbler, you've got this ornament piece right here. There's right here it is. This is the wild wheat. You have a couple of the holly leaves. You have gold down here, so you're getting those two little gold ornament toppers. You have, you're going to be able to get some berries here. Let me see. I've got berries dropping around here somewhere in all kinds of places. I feel like I dropped another one right there. So there's the berries and all that good stuff. And then this piece right here, you're going to cut this in half and you're going to do two ornaments. This is very vanilla. So you've got your two ornaments right here. Let me set my tag aside. So that would be that piece. And we're going to go ahead and get going on our ornament stamping. So our ornament stamping is going to be done in the wild wheat. We're going to do one of each. So it doesn't even matter which one you start with. So we're just going to go ahead and ink these up, pull them apart. There's one that didn't ink quite as nicely as it should have. But we're going to keep moving along here and we'll do this one. Maybe I'll put that one in the back this time. Okay, so we've got our two little ornaments. Just like, I love how they just pull off. As I made these today, I was like, this is fun just to kind of like pull them off of the die cut, and there they are. It's not difficult at all. All right, for our little leaves, we are going to take advantage of the wild wheat this time. So this wild wheat, we're going to edge our ornaments. No, I didn't edge my ornaments. I actually edged the circles. So you're getting 2-inch circles. These fit really nicely behind the wild wheat ornaments. Just to kind of change it up a little bit, change the size up and make your ornaments a little bit bigger. So it kind of gives them that outside edge. So kind of see them on here. I know there's a lot going on in the card. Maybe you even missed that feature, but there are some circles here. 2-inch circle punch works really well with the size of the ornaments. And of course they're round, right? So perfect. And then we're going to use the wild wheat just on our leaves because we have it out. And it doesn't matter if it's yellow, brown, or green. When we add it to the holly leaves, it works beautifully. So just add a little bit there. that's good to go. We are going to sponge a little bit on, actually while I have this out, the edge of this ornament decoration piece. As we did with the other ones, it really just makes it show. Okay, so there's that one. I think we're done with wild wheat. I think we just need to bring back in cherry and do this one as well. This one is just a decorative piece. I didn't stamp on the cherry, and I didn't add anything extra, but you can see that I am adding the bling. So hopefully you can see it here on the surface of my desk. So you can see I've added the bling to that as well. Okay, so there we go. Now this tag is going to go on with some dimensionals. So we'll go ahead and put that on there now. And this is one that can go at an angle. It fits just really nicely here at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to go ahead and glue my ornaments together here. Just like that. We'll put our little toppers on. Actually, I can move all my little scrap papers aside. All the kit papers and ribbons and such. We're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue here to the top, just like we've been doing for all of them. So there's a lot of similarities in the ornaments that I've made for all of my cards, but again, there's also differences. So adding the 2-inch circle punch behind it, or using glimmer paper, you know, different things. You can definitely change them up and still use the same design over and over again if you want to, which is nice. So you don't have to think too much. Okay, so that's on there. We're going to go ahead, since this one didn't work out as well, we're going to put this one in the back this time instead of the front. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down right across here. And I'm going to glue this one flat. Now remember, my tag has dimensionals on it. We're going to just pop it over here like so. We're going to put a little berry up here and a little leaf coming off of there. And quick berry on there as well. Okay, there we go. So there's one on there. Now we're going to add this one on with dimensionals. So we are changing them up a little bit. One will be flat and one will be lifted. Just for some different interest in height, right? Usually I work this way. I probably should. Confusing myself even. Like usually I have my finished card on this side so I can kind of see it as well. So we're going to come over here with this one. And we need to stamp All Is Merry in here as well. Let me find All Is Merry. We're going to stamp that in Cherry Cobbler. So we're taking advantage again of these reds and golds working well together. All Is Merry. And this is going to come right across here on our front ornament, giving us that same continuity of color, right? We've got all those beautiful colors in there. And we're going to go ahead and add in one more holly leaf. And another berry. And of course, if you have this at home, maybe you want to add, you can add more berries and more holly. You can deck it up as much as you like. Actually, I think, is that the right side up or backwards? Nope, I put the glue on the wrong way. Let's try this again. We're going to put the glue on this way. Okay, so I've got one leaf there, and then I actually did put a couple of them down here. I don't know if I can find two on my desk right now. I definitely have one. Or you can choose to use your embellishments and add these in instead of putting that down there. So you could definitely do that too. But I may have lost one on my desk in all of this all of this work. Now we do have this cute little ribbon here. I made a bow earlier, so that was super handy. I'm going to put a little tear and tape on the back of it, pop it on the card, and as you're checking out the end work here on card number 4, I want you to be thinking about the other cards you've seen tonight. I'm going to put them all here on my desk in just a minute so you can see all 4 of them. This is going to cover up this little hole that's up here at the top of our tag. Give us a nice little cuteness there too. And then for the embellishments, I took a whole row of these red embellishments. That didn't turn out quite where I wanted it to be. And just put them right here across my little scallop piece for this one. So you can see here, I'm gonna go kind of right across here, put all of them in there. They fit just like that. So you're gonna need 5 if you're doing it. Now maybe you want to do every other one. Maybe you're like, whoa, embellishments. Oh, that one's got to come back under and tuck just a little bit. There we go. So I use the embellishments up here, and you could definitely again use these red trio right here for that berry instead if that's what you prefer. But there we go. That is card number 4. And I'm going to slide everything across my desk here so you can see all of the cards that we've made tonight. So you can see what a really wonderful class this was with this really fun ornament bundle. So we've got this green one here, the old olive. We've got the vanilla with the cherry. We've got the pecan and the crumb. So kind of more of a natural looking card. And then we've got the fun one that we started out with, and this one was just to show you that you can create these with a pull feature if you want to, rather than just put the ornaments on a card. But the ornaments on the cards are really a lot of fun as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this class. I know we went a little long. So Michelle says red and gold is her favorite. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Let's see, I'm just reading some comments here. Amy likes the gold is elegant. It is really elegant. Thanks, Rhonda. She loves all of them. I'm glad you love them. So I hope I've inspired you to grab this set out. It is a lot of fun. I think the most fun for me was die cutting it. And then, thanks Kelly for saying it's a great class. Die cutting it and then stamping it and then just popping it out with those 3 little tiny perforation point pieces, and I can see a lot of fun going forward with these ornaments. Definitely do them. They would make really great tags as you're getting into the gift giving season. You can flip those ornaments over. And thanks, Patty loves the cards too. Amy says the red and gold is her favorite. Thank you so much, Amy. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. Now if you're at home and you've enjoyed this video, if you're watching on replay, watching on YouTube, this is a card class that I offer in the mail. So I'm not just sharing with you how I made the cards, I'm also sending the card kits out to you with your qualifying order. When you spend $40 with me this week using my host code, you get 4 card kits. And when you spend $50 with me in my online store with my host code, you get 4 card kits plus a $9 embellishment gift. So, and that's just the cost of the embellishment. That doesn't include shipping and tax. So really it's an awesome deal. Try to bring you the best of everything, of course. Thanks for hanging out with me a little bit, checking out this class. If you're watching replay, please let me know. I would love to know that you watch replay. Please feel free to like and share any of my videos. It helps Facebook to show this to more people, and hopefully more people can see this and enjoy this. So please feel free to leave comments and do that liking and sharing. I really appreciate all your love and support. All right, I will have a really great card recipe in your Thursday email newsletter featuring this bundle, Hang An Ornament. Remember, this is a under $30 bundle, so it really does not break the bank to get this and play with these really cute ornaments. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will check them out later. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me over on YouTube as well, and I will see you again soon. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye.